What did we discuss in the Boers? We have killed so many of our people. A Boer's medicine is a bullet. Mandela said, although the apartheid regime was weakened, it still had power to continue for a long time. And many more lives would have been lost. They shook hands with the clerk. And within 4 years, the prisoner who came out of prison was the president, and the president was his vice president. If Mandela could shake hands with the clerk, if Yasser Arafat could shake hands with Rabin, why is it wrong for Raila Odinga to shake hands with Uhuru Kenyatta? And here, now that I have got a number of members of parliament here, parliament must stand on the right side of history in the battle against corruption. If parliamentarians are also compromised to sanitize what is already known to everybody as dirty corruption, then parliament will find itself on the other wrong side of history. It's like you sent a hungry dog to chase a man who is carrying meat. That thief will throw the meat to the dog, and the dog will be busy eating the meat as the thief is escaping. Members of parliament must lead by example. That's why they're being paid a lot of salaries, to be protectors of the people. But now if parliament is itself going to be unaccomplished in this, then Kenyan people must think twice. Again, members of parliament should also respect our institutions. We've set up certain constitutional commissions, like salary review commission. Why does parliament think that they are above the constitution? That the salary cannot be set by a salary review commission? Parliament is showing a very bad example to the people, the youth of this country. And they must lead by example. I want to plead through the leaders who are here to talk to their colleagues out there. Kenyans are watching. We want to see what's happening. When the investigative institutions are already at work, like the issue of sugar, the institutions are already at work. Then we hear a parliamentary committee has called those people, those same sugar lords, that are going to be investigated. And then they come up to sanitize this. Leave those commissions to arrest these people and prosecute them. Parliament does not have investigative capacity. The institutions which have been trained, which have got facilities, equipment to carry out investigations, by calling somebody before Parliament committee, shouting at them, so that you can be seen on television. You are not doing anything useful to the country. That so-and-so has been called for grilling. You are calling for grilling, but already you have got CID officers who have already investigated these people and have already are trying to prosecute them. It helps us not have conflict of interest in these issues. This is an issue that I felt I must raise here today as we say goodbye to Oluoch Okello.
La mwisho nikiingia kwa siasa nisema mambo mawili. 2022 sisi ambao tumetoka Central pana kitu moja tumeagree. Number one, we are going to have a constitutional change so that every person, every leader from the entire country is represented in the executive. Are we together? ODM Tibim. ODM Tialala. Raila Tialala. I want to give you that assurance that the people of Central have agreed we are going to expand the executive. Once we expand the executive, we have said among the leaders ambao watakuwa hapo ndani si mwingine ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Lakini pia tafadhalini namuomba kitu moja. Nimuulize swali. Kitendawili. Tafadhalini pia msisahau hata huyu hasra anaitwa Ruto. Tafadhalini mupatieni hata hiyo deni hata yaoneka kitu.
I want to tell Irungu Kangata one thing. First, I appreciate and I support your position on possible constitutional reform in this country. It is important that we amend this constitution to make it more responsive. All those areas which we said, the 20%, which was bad, this is the right time to look at it. And all constitutions in the world are always amended in the first 5 years. Ours has taken 8 years. We can amend it. Now, the other thing where I don't agree with you is where you just tell us in a blanket that we pay some debt. If you want to be a leader in this country, you must show integrity. We will not elect a leader who has no integrity. We cannot elect a leader with no credibility. And therefore, if you want us to elect anyone, make sure the first thing you do, tell him to declare his wealth. Tell him to go for lifestyle audit. But when you stand there and tell people that we don't want lifestyle audit, it is targeting some leaders. And then you tell us to elect those leaders. People who fear to declare what they have are thieves.
The People's President, Your Excellency Railas Odinga. You know I worked in Nyanza, and you must be very careful how you dress and talk. So I came adequately prepared. And I want to thank the people of Migori for electing a very brilliant senator. This is what he said in his maiden speech, and I want to quote him so that whoever will be voted in once the seat is declared vacant will know what Ben stood for. He said, and I quote from the Hansard, I would also like to thank the Almighty God for allowing me to be a member of this great house, which is considered to be the upper house. I want to thank the people of Migori County for bestowing this honor on me. I promise that I will ask about the resources allocated to Migori County because this is the house where that takes place. I also want to thank my party for giving me this opportunity to serve the country as a senator for Migori. That was his maiden speech in the Senate. And you can already see that he was a very focused person, a man who was determined to make sure that Migori improves. And the funds that come to Migori are used for the purposes for which they are intended. Nikiendelea kidogo, unajua mimi siku hizi ni mtu ya order, sisemi siasa sana, lakini nishukuru the People's President for the handshake. I was the first beneficiary of that handshake. You know, when you are taking care of people like Orengo in the Senate, you must also be very careful. After the handshake, the temperatures just came down.
From Migori County, I am Maurice Ochieng.